Mathematics entertaining truth history. Okay, what was the first facility you ever been to?
Well, the first facility I ever been to was, of course, downstate. Then from downstate, I was 17 years old. Of course, from downstate, 2 days later, I was transferred to Elmira. Then from Elmira, I stayed in Elmira for about 2-3 months in reception.
Okay.
This is 1996, and I was sent to Wyoming. So I would say Wyoming. This is my first bid. Wyoming was my first facility, which was crazy. But my first real, not to take nothing from Wyoming, but
right.
My real bid that I did, where I did a stretch, where I did some numbers. My first facility was the CAT, Gladiator School. You know what I mean?
Gladiator School.
Yeah.
Now, but hold up. But yo, Critter, you missed a few things, right? Because we got to go back. So you never did the Valhalla.
Excuse me. Exactly. Pardon me.
Westchester County.
The first jail I actually been to was Valhalla. In 1994. Yeah, 1994. It started out with Woodfield, and from Woodfield, I eventually, went to Valhalla. For my first offense.
Okay.
That I actually got captured for, but yeah.
And this was back in 1994, you said?
1994, yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's it was a whole nother time period. Around that time, everybody was moving different. Yo, this city was crazier than it could ever be. All that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, definitely was.
So let's get into this. I want you to walk us through this, all right? A lot of people was neutral around that time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too many other organizations out here. You had a few, but you ain't have that many. So were you there? Did you experience, while being up north and being in the penitentiary, of the blood movement coming into fruition?
I would say yes. I would say yes because from where I come from, I'm from Yonkers. So I didn't really see too many, I didn't know too many. I never met any Bloods until actually, I would say 1996, in Valhalla, that was transferred from Rikers Island to Valhalla at the time. But as far as in the streets, excuse me, actually one of the first homies I ever was one of my mans I grew up with. He came home from DFY around that time. I would say maybe around 95 summer, around that time. And
early.
He brung that home with him.
Right.
So that's when I remember that. But as far as seeing it like rampant, I would say 1996. You know what I mean? I seen a lot of that activity like that. You know what I mean? But not as much. You know what I mean?
But see, this is the thing. When you first started seeing it, did you know like the cause behind it? Did you know why it was started? Everything, the whole politics behind it?
Oh yeah, my ears to the streets. And without to say any names, at this time I would say in 96, I was 17. I ran into a well-known homie who, free my boy. It's hard to say what I'm talking about, but he's currently right now jammed up because of the 6ix9ine situation and all that. So it's one of those individuals, and that's my bro right there. And I met him, and he kind of explained it to me. So that's how I got my little insight on it, because I wasn't on Rikers Island, so I didn't know what happened. I didn't really know until I heard from the horse's mouth from somebody who's actually present at the time. So
right. Okay. So what made you choose the Loch Lane? What made you choose that lane?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. I wanna. For those that's interested, I want to set the record straight because a lot of people, it's a lot of talk. Not saying right now, but you know, I've heard that, you know, it was no Crips and at this year and that year, whatever. First of all, I got my first, I would say, I got my first experience from an OG of mine from back in the days who, this was actually around like 1992, 1993. I would say maybe
Early.
1993, early, where I got my first exposure to that lifestyle. And I always wanted to become that lifestyle. It was just like, it's like, you know how when you were a kid, you see things and you just want to pick it up, you know? Nobody actually,
Yo.
yeah, nobody actually said, you know, until I'm gonna get to that, but nobody actually said, yo, you here, you cuz. No. It was always, I always was like, yo, Critter, yo, little cuz, like, you know, to the homeboys and all that,
Right.
from Cali, because I learned about this from some 60s. You know what I mean? At the time, you know, when I was active, I wasn't 60s, I was mafia. So at the end of the day, it's like they used to be around me. So I wanted to see like them. I wanted to be like them. You know what I mean? So I used to ask them questions, and you know, they taught me how to, you know, how to roll and all that and everything. And I was a little kid back then. Actually, I was still skateboarding. I was a little shorty. At this time, I didn't know no Crips, no Bloods, except for one, my cousin, who came from Oakland. I mean, if you from YO, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name and none of that, but you know, it is what it is. If he decides to talk, you know, so he put me onto it. So when he put me onto it, you know, he told me, yo, I don't really want you in this lifestyle. Like, it's my cousin. So he's like, I don't really want you in this lifestyle. You know, stick to the skateboarding or whatever, you know. But I was 1 foot in the street, 1 foot in the skateboarding. Long story short, you know what I mean? One day, the guy who I was talking about, who's West Side Rolling 60, he said, oh, so you think you ready? You want to be Crip? So I'm like, yeah. So he said, all right. He sent me. Now I can say their names because they probably gonna remember this. He sent me, Tori, Johnny, you know what I mean, and forgot who else, one other person. And he told me this wasn't your traditional, you know, how you get loped in, but this is what he told me to do. He said, y'all gotta go put that work in on this dude named Juan. So so we ran down on Juan. We put that work in. He gave us a good fight. You know, he fought us. Some was very skilled and all that, but we beat him up. I wound up fighting him because I was like the oldest out of everybody. Johnny and them was younger than me. So I wound up fighting him, beating him up, whatever. So I come back. He gives me my flag. So from there, I thought I was Crip, but technically I wasn't, because I didn't do what I had to do. I mean, as far as, you know how it go. So I was just a kid just trying to be down.
See, now here's the thing. Let's say 93, 94, walking around with a blue flag, that's unheard of, right?
Yeah.
Now, there might have been a few dudes over there in Harlem, you know, over there on the east side. They might have had their little thing going on over there. But to be on this side of New York, the YO side of New York, with a blue flag, how was that experience? You know, telling people about that lingo?
It was like, yo, people, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, a lot of dudes not honest. Like, it was like the way how it was for me when I wouldn't say when I first went up top, but when I went up top with it. Because when I went up top with it, not the first bid. Now I'll tell you about that if you ask me, but when I went up top with it, it was like people looked at me at you bugging out. You seeing colors now, you think you Crip, like, Critter, get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't take me seriously. Like, and then
nobody took nobody seriously in the beginning.
Exactly.
In the beginning.
I was just a kid. I was trying to make a name for myself. I'm running around doing stuff, and you know, eventually it got to the point where I wasn't recruiting. I felt like, you know, I just was me. So I had my crew, whatever, but they wasn't Crip and none of that. They was doing what they do. We actually had our own little clique called the Body Snatchers and all that, and we was doing what we was doing. But I always felt in my heart that I was Crip. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, actually, I was, you know, I was like, oh, let's say I was an aspiring Crip, you know, at the time. You know, a young dude just trying to, you know, fit in with that culture.
First bid. All right. First bid. Now your first bid, you going into where?
Now my first bid, mind you, by this time, like I said, my first bid is 1996. So it's a little gap between 94 and 96. Right. So now, as I catch this bid, the bid in 96, I run into a brother named Knowledge, if I'm not mistaken. Knowledge goes by, I don't know, maybe you heard of him. He goes by Iron Fist. He used to rap.
Now, sound familiar.
Iron Fist, he became cool with me. He came from up north. He had a reversal. This is how it happened. So he got a reversal. So I always been rapping. At the time X was there, we always rapping. You know, we was rapping on the gate, and that's how I got cool with him. That's actually how he met X, was through that time right there with us in the box. Okay. So he comes to me, you know, we talking or whatever, but he's talking this God body lingo. So he asked me, he's like, yo, what are you? I'm like, I'm Crip. So he like, word? He like, all right, you know, he's like, yo, you want knowledge yourself? Like, so I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, what is that? Like, I'm 16. I'm like, yo, I didn't know that. I didn't, you know, not saying that Yonkers was late with the, because it was God's and Earth's out here. But I just didn't know that because my mind was on something else. So he's like, yo, you want knowledge yourself? So he gave me the Supreme Mathematics. So then I started studying, and it's like being around no lokes and no homies, very few homies. And the homies that was around was like dudes I grew up with. Like, it wasn't no, you get what I'm saying? So it was like me being young, still trying to find myself. I kind of dove into the lessons. You get what I'm saying? And I kind of like blacked everything out. Like, I only had a 2 flat. So when I went up top, it was like, yeah, I always show love to the homeboys, the very few that I ran into, and I linked with them. But at the end of the day, it was like more so, I would say I was more to myself at that time. You know what I mean? It really didn't come full surface until I caught that stretch. Once I caught that stretch and hit the cat, it just took off from there. That's when I picked it up fully, and I just dedicated my whole life to that.
Now, here's the thing, right? When you was in the CAC, when you first got to the CAC, you didn't have to say you was Loke. You didn't have to tell nobody that, right?
No.
What made you want to display that? What made you want to push that energy?
I would say more so, to be honest with you, when I walked into the cat, can I tell you about that? Like, when I walked into the cat.
Absolutely.
When I walked into the cat, right? That first walk was like nothing I ever been through before in my life. Like, I witnessed 3 people. I witnessed 3 people get shot that same day, me going to reception, just walking in the hallway.
Yeah.
One dude coming in, his face leaking. I'm looking out the window. It's a 3-man fight. One dude get cut. Boom. I'm like, oh, they got us on the wall. They running dudes through the hallway. Look back out the window when I'm in the cell in reception. Another dude get clapped. So it's like I always heard about the cat because my cousin was in the cat. Plus, I had some people, comrades in the cat at that time. We talking about 1999. So I had some people who I used to always talk to on the phone, and I already knew what the cat was hitting for. I already knew what type of time it was on. So I'm like, yo, so now I make it out of reception. I go to population. My cousin is there. Basically, my cousin, he got one side, you know what I mean? The other lope got the other side, whatever. And I'm seeing how things is going. And I'm like, yo, you know what? Yeah, it's time, you know? It's time, because I was seeing a lot of, I wouldn't say oppression, but I would say I was seeing a lot of influence on not just Bloods, but just a lot of organizations with large numbers, you know, poking their chests out.
But it was just you, right? It was you, and then you had your cousin. You didn't have nobody else, and you were still willing to take on being outnumbered?
Of course. Of course. That's how I grew up. We grew up like that. We grew up going against all odds. So I was already used to that. And if you know, I mean, if you know the history of Lokes, I mean, that's why we get jumped in. That's why we're taught to deal with the odds. You know what I mean? And that's, you know,
Absolutely.
so yes, it was a few Lokes there, here and there, like in this block, but it wasn't it was basically 100-1 type situation.
Right.
You feel me? So I did it for that reason, to because I'm not gonna lie, I always been the type of person to sit back, and if I see somebody getting bullied, because I was bullied one time in my life, you know what I mean? And I fought that bully back. I got my stuff back, but I sit back and I watch, you know, the weak like get preyed, like just get picked on, and it's like it's something in me that wants to help them. You know what I mean? And that's kind of another reason why I did it. Plus me, you know, me learning about, you know, everything that I learned about younger and what it's supposed to be about. I felt like it was only right. It was only right that I jump on board and help build this thing up. You know what I mean? So
okay. So what is that? Walk us through this. What exact situation you made it be known right there? I'm low, you know, right to the forefront. What exact situation?
I would say a certain situation happened. I mean, like you said though, I really didn't have to say nothing, because once I got there, everybody already seen me with my cousin. They know what he was.
That's
and
it.
and
You
they know
chose right then and there.
they
Right,
know what
that's
it is.
it.
Plus, it's something about this name. I mean, it's just synonymous with it.
Synonymous.
Yeah, it's like it was synonymous with that before I even, like, I don't know. It's crazy. So it's like a situation had happened, and we was called out to the yard. I mean, I could say his name and stuff like that, because it's not like it's gonna hurt him. Big Nuke, you know what I mean? You know, rest in peace, Uni. Uni was there. Panna. Certain people, you know, that had a lot of time at the time. Big Damon, you know what I'm saying? Big Damon, free Big Damon. You know what I mean? Damon got like 40 something in right now. Damon was there. Couple people, they called us all out to the yard. And that's how it came to the forefront. Like, yo, these are the Lokes. You know what I mean? It was like maybe 5 or 6 of us. But at the time when I pulled up, a situation just happened before I pulled up that got resolved or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's like when I came, it's like everything just started just moving different. Everything became different. It's like basically me and my cousin and a few other, you know, homeboys that was there, official homeboys. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say their name and all that, but they was there, about maybe 5 or 6 of us, 7, maybe 7 at the time. We made it so when the homeboys come there, they safe. You know what I mean? They got a safe place to be, because back at that time, we all know, I mean, if you know, if you was in the system in the 90s and the 2000s and all that, early 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, we all know Green was the capital. You know what I mean?
Green was the capital.
Green was the capital. So what's next to Green? The cat. So what was going on was this. A lot of homies was going to Green, getting in some shit over there, right? Boom, leaving, whatever. But a lot of homeboys was coming from Green to the cat. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of homeboys, not a lot, some of them, right? Rather than step out, we was making it so when they came to reception, we was in that yard, in the center yard. Yo, come outside. We here. We got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got you. Come out. You safe here. Yeah, we outnumbered. Yeah, you outnumbered and all that, but we good. Yeah. We got you. We don't worry about nothing. We here. You heard?
Facts. Yeah.
So some came out, and then they seen that how we had it. We had it so
it was solid.
You come from anywhere, you good. We got you. Don't worry about nothing. Long as you stand up. Then we even had it so where it's like this. We sent the word out. Yo, listen. You come over here, you sign in. Don't even bother even claiming no more. Don't come out. Nothing. Come out. You good. Don't worry about nothing. Just come out. It's not that type of situation here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was tension. It was off and on. It was one of yours, two of mine, it was that going on. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like how it was in the mid 2000s or like how it is now. You get what I'm saying? Which I don't really know right now what's going on at the CAT or in the system right now. I mean, I'm still in contact with some homeboys, but
right.
you know how it was back then. I would say it was more militant, man. You know.
But all right, now let's stop right there with the militant, right? Now check this out, right? Watch this, right? So the Bloods, right? They say that they formed due to the oppression from the Latin kings. Now, then you got Crips. So now you got a bunch of black brothers forming due to the oppression of the Latin kings, but then you got a whole nother sector of black brothers forming to go against the other black brothers. That's how it would look looking from the outside in. How did you feel about that?
That's now cypher, man. That's not why. I mean, everybody has their own personal reasons of why they turn loc. You get what I'm saying? Some people turn loc because, and I'm speaking from New York perspective, you know what I'm saying? And out here, the streets and in the penitentiary. Some people turn loc because one of their friends or themselves was oppressed by blood, or they hate bloods. So they say, I've actually had young dudes come to me, and I always been a knowledgeable young, because we talking about the time I was a teenager at this time, because I was a teenager. I was 19 years old. So, but I was always looked upon as an older dude because of my mindset and where I was at. So I've had young dudes come to me and say, and I've asked them, because I always quiz them, why are you loc? You know, oh, because I hate bloods. That's not a good enough answer for me personally. But that's your opinion. If that's why you turn whatever, then that's why. But to me, that's not a good enough reason. You got some people who turn loc because their family is low, or they want to be rebels. Like for me, I think, I'm not even gonna lie to you. For me, I think it was more the rebel part, and me just being me just going against the grain and just being like, yo, I'm an ill nigga. Like I don't need.
But as you just said, you always had like a leader mentality.
Exactly.
You was always a leader. You always had a leader mentality. So you always, what you never was doing, you was never pushing with the wind, with the rest of the wind.
Exactly.
You was doing your own thing all the time.
Yeah.
So even early on, when you became loc early on, there wasn't nobody else. You decided to do that, not under peer pressure, just because you wanted to do it. So you always had like leader qualities about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. So it was like, it's everybody got their own reason. Like it might be a lack of a family structure. It might be they might not have. Look, because I'm not gonna lie to you. If and I'm in no way am I glorifying, but it was what it was at the time. We was how it's supposed to be, like a family. So if you on the outside looking in and you see me, you see my cousin, you see the homeboys, and you see the structure, and you see how we got it set up, it's all love. Everybody's safe. Everybody, we not running around all happy and all that, but we secure. You know what I'm saying? It's a family. You hungry, you eat, and I'm bringing you food out, whatever you need. You know what I mean? It was love. It was security. You feel me? So somebody on the outside might look in, like a kid or a younger dude, even older dudes, and they might admire that, and they might want to be a part of that. Say, you know what? I like that structure they got. They're different. They're different than the homies, and not to bash them or none of that, but they was on a different type of time at that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about at this time. They was on a different type of time than we was on. The type of time we was on, we was on some, you already know. You know the type of time we was on. We trying to get in that law library. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do things to better ourselves. Not saying that a lot of them wasn't doing it, but we was on some, on some community revolution type stuff. Feel me? And that's what we was on. So people might see that, they might admire that. And then I had a lot of people come to me and ask me, yo, can I? And I tell them no. And I told them no because, I guess their reasons wasn't potent enough for me to want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Plus, I know I know what this entails, man. I know what it entailed at the time. You had young dudes, even older dudes that came to me, but I know what, you know, what they didn't know about it. You feel me? And I was ahead of my time because at that time I haven't been through what I've been through after that time. You feel me?
Right.
To know, but I knew that it was coming. I knew it was coming. You know
You ever came across like any lokes that like they said to you, you know what? Yo, I'm not doing this. I don't want to be a part of this no more. Like it's too real, you know? We too outnumbered. You know, it's too real. I can't do this. You know, I can't be moving from jail to jail with this. And we too outnumbered. I can't do it. You ever came across any saying that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've actually been through that in the middle of wars. I've been through that. I've had homeboys tell me, yo, Critter, I can't do this no more. Yo, I got a daughter, or my mom's is sick, and you know, all this stuff like that. Now listen, I have evolved since then. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
even back then, I had compassion for him. I had a heart. But my mentality was always like this. You signed up for this, bro. You know what I'm saying? You signed up for this. And in the middle of a war, this is a bad time to start thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Because when the chips is good, everybody all happy and all that. But you knew, not saying that I told them, because a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people get loped in. They have this they got this false perception in their mind that everything is all hunky-dory. Every spot is not going to be like the cat. Like when we was there, when we was holding it down, when we had it in a good place where you could come and be safe. That's what I used to tell them too, though. I say, yo, you know, when you leave here, it's gonna be a different ball game, because every max is not like this. You might go to another max, and as soon as you get there, you gotta let it go. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that's not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So I said I had a couple of them say that to me, and you know, it is what it is, and they, you know, whatever happened. But I don't to be honest with you. Now that I'm older, it's how you do it. It's how you do it. It's how you do it and how you approach it. But how I was raised and how I was brought up with that is that once you in, you always in. You feel what I'm saying? You always in.
Once you in, you in.
Exactly. But now
it's always gonna be on your jacket.
Exactly.
You know, even if you say, yo, I dropped my flag, I don't want to be a part of this no more. And yo, these dudes out here, they always gonna look at you as you a Crip or you was that Crip. That's it. You know,
exactly. So it's
with you.
It's no look. It's like you said. You hit it right. You hit the nail right on the head. It's It don't make sense to say, yo, because at the end of the day, because you want to chill or because you want to relax, your enemies ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah. You know? They're still on the same demon time. While you over here saying, yo, listen, I don't want to be a part of they on the demon time. They don't care. They knew what you was. You know, they ain't trying to hear that, you know?
Exactly. It's very few individuals that was Crip that I know, you know what I mean, that I know and got love for and stuff like that, that can actually say that they did that. The homies respected it, or whoever they had, because it's not just homies. It could be any, like me per se. A lot of my problems was with the police. And I mean, if those that know me, a lot of my problems with the police, I really didn't have as much. I mean, I had problems with the opposition and all that, but it was a lot with the police. But like you said, man, you know, and I feel like once people you got beef with know that you want some, yo, I don't want to be a part of that no more. They look at that like as a wolf with a wound or something. They smell blood now. Now they gonna come get you. Now they gonna come get you. So ain't no chilling, none of that. It ain't none of that. You know what I mean? Unless you got the respect to do it. Feel me? Like if you got enough respect, if you earned enough respect, if you let your nuts hang so far to the floor, and you say, yo, listen, I'm not doing that no more. That's it. And they leave you alone. Like, that's very, very rare. It's only a few people that I know like that. So, yeah.
All right. Now OG Ruck. They say you did time with OG Ruck, right? Now, where was you at? Where did you meet up with OG Ruck? How did you guys meet?
Yo, shout out OG Ruck. That's my boy. That's the cuz right there. Yo, we met before we even met, man. I always heard about him. You know what I'm saying? I always heard about him for two reasons. because I heard about him with with the Loken, and I also heard about him spitting. You know what I mean? Like people always say, y'all gotta meet each other because y'all a lot alike. Y'all both rep die hard. Y'all both nice on the mic and all that. So after a couple years, I finally ran into him in Green Haven. You know what I mean? I ran into him in Green Haven. Boom, we linked up. We was good. You know what I mean? I wound up leaving. I got into a situation with an officer down there. Got 9 months in the shoe. I got half of that. I got half of that thrown out. Wound up going to I think I went back to Clinton, I think. I runs into him again in 2011 in Comstock. In Comstock. So yeah, man, we used to at that point in time, I would say the first time we was together, we was on two different sides. Like I was on the west side, and I was on the east side. He was on the west side. Then like I get locked up over here, over there. But it was just basically, it was all love, man. We, we used to build, we used to chop it up, trying to figure out ways how to get out. Like I said, we was on grown people time, man. We was trying to, get up out of there. You know what I mean? We was doing what we do though, but we was well respected, well protected. You know what I'm saying? Everything was good, man. You know what I mean? Especially in the stock too, though. In the stock, we was doing us, man.
Out of all the penitentiaries you've been to up north, right? What would you say was the worst one that you've been to?
Man, I would say Max's or everywhere.
Everywhere, in general.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Because they say towards the end it gets hard. I did 20 years, 7 months, and 18 days straight. So I would say towards the end, it got to be a tie between Attica and Franklin. Attica and Franklin. Yeah, and I'm being like, trust me. I've been in Southport 6 times. I've been in Clinton 5 times. Like the worst spots. Like I got it on with the police damn near every spot. Like, you know what I mean? Like they jumped me, did me dirty, took my property, all. But Attica and Franklin was like the worst. Like, but I would say with the officers, it's like a mix with Franklin and Attica. But
that's crazy.
I can't choose. I can't really choose though, because they both was crazy.
But you say Franklin and Attica. St.laz said Cacksaki. He said the cack.
Right,
so we dealing with different time periods. That's why.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be surprised, but I'm gonna tell you something. I caught 2 new charges in the cat. The first time I was there, I caught a new one. The second time I went back there, I caught a new one. I speak about that on my page, on my YouTube channel. On my last video I put up, it's Trading War Stories Part 2. I talk about what happened. When the officers came, they came to kill me. You know what I mean? I fought my way out of that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, not to downplay the cat. The cat is crazy, rough. Even Comstock, even Elmira. Like I could name like all the spots is crazy, but Franklin. The reason why I say Franklin is because it's so open and all the stuff that I went through there, and I was there the longest. Like it's like I went there with the mentality of it's a medium, man. It's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
Coming from the cat. Be like, yo, this is just a medium.
They're going to tell me. They, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to tell me. Now, actually, I was coming from Clinton.
Okay. Well, Clinton.
Yeah, I came from the main. So I'm like, just came from Clinton. Like, so I'm seeing dudes over there and all that, but it's a bunch of young niggas there, young people there, and they wilding. You know what I mean? They wilding. Like, first day I got there, they had me in the sergeant's office for cutting. I ain't even do it. Like, oh, this is just on your jacket. What's the nah, I didn't do that. Boom. Anything happen, this is what they do there. They try to recruit you in Franklin. They know they do their homework. They say, oh, he just came, he got 15 years in. Oh, he was with this, that. They try to force you to be the enforcer. Like, listen, if anybody else get cut in that dorm, you going down for it. So now they force you to tell dudes now, if you choose to, yo, y'all gotta chill, man. Yo, they said Yeah,
They got a little strategy. That's their strategy.
Yeah, they strategy. But see, it fake works because now you like, yo, if I don't say nothing, they gonna do some dumb. You know how the young boys is.
They gonna line you up. Yeah.
They clapping shit up every night in this dorm I'm in. I'm like, yo, y'all crazy. So, but they jacking me because they heard about me. They know, they like, oh, they know I got time in. At this point in time, I'm gonna be honest, cuz like a lot of lokes don't be honest. At this point in time, cuz I would say I don't want to use the word loosely, but I would say I was inactive. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. And by this time, how much time did you have in by that
I had
time?
like 16 years in, almost 16.
You ready to go home? You ready to get up out of there?
Listen, I just came back from Sing Sing from a reversal. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just got the person that actually did what I was incarcerated for came forward and admitted to it. They denied me. They denied my appeal. They sent me back up top. You feel what I'm saying? It's still light at the end of the tunnel for me. I'm still fighting my case. I never, even through all the wars, all the beefs, all the fights, all the cut and stabbing, I still was in the law library. I still was fighting for my freedom. You know what I mean? For what's important. So it's like at that time, I was like, and this is how I feel. This is how I feel, right? Anyway, at the end of the day, right? This is how I was brought up. The boys in blue ask you any questions, feel me? About what you don't have to answer that. You know what I mean? You don't have to answer that. That's how that's the umbrella I'm under. You don't have to answer that. But if another gang member asks you what you are, you have to tell them what you are.
You got to tell them.
If you don't, you a bitch. That's it. There's nothing else that you violate.
You signed up for this. Yeah, you signed up
me?
for this and all that. This is what it is. This is it. This is what it is.
And this I wouldn't say it's public information because a lot of people might not know, but I see certain people on your platform, you did interviews with, they know me, they know of me, we've been in spots together, and a lot of them, I got respect for them, they got respect for me, we know each other, and they could actually verify this. At one point in time, I would say prior to me getting that reversal and all that, it was always, yo, it is what it is. Yeah, what's up? Like, it was, you never had to ask me. You would know. I'm in the bullpen. I'm the only dude in the bullpen with a blue kufi hanging out my left back pocket. Like, I'm there. Like, I'm always announcing what I am. Like, I'm like I could tell you a couple stories. Like, that'd be like, wow. Like, I've been in bullpens. I've been on buses with dudes who was capable to come out cuffs and all that. Was shooting dudes on buses on the transfers and all that. And I'm with these dudes. They did not touch me. They respect me. It's more so a lot of big homies respect a person like me that never denied what he was, but that's just real. I'm real. I'm not gonna lie to you and be like, nah, I'm not that, and then shoot you from behind or something. And I'm not knocking nobody that do that. That's just not me. You feel me?
Right.
I'm gonna be who I am, and if they ask me, that's who I am. So now at this point in time, I pull up. Everybody know me because, like I said, my name is synonymous, but nobody never asks, and I'm not volunteer. I'm not gonna say what I am. I'm not doing that. I don't have to do that. If you don't know, you don't know. You know. I'm just I'm keeping it real, cuz like I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I mean, no capping. So, but at the end of the day, that's how it go. That's just how it go, man. When I got there, Franklin was Franklin, man. It was wild. But Attica, the reason when I say Attica, I'm coming from a different perspective for Attica. You know why? Because Attica was my first spot after the Cat.
Right.
After Southport, because from the Cat, I went to Southport. From Southport, I went to Attica.
Okay.
That was my first spot where I really had to let my nuts hang. Like,
elaborate.
I had to put on for the homeboys. Like, I had to put on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where I learned a lot of jewels and a lot of lessons there too. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I learned that all that passive aggressive shit and all that peace and all that, it don't work. It don't. At the time, you gotta fight aggression. You gotta meet aggression with aggression. You gotta be the aggressor. You gotta be the aggressor, and you gotta keep the pain on. You gotta keep the pain coming. Keep it coming. Don't every chance you get. That's the only way you're gonna get your respect. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a very peaceful brother. I'm an independent thinker. I'm able to sit down and have a conversation with anybody.
Right.
I learned from there that if you do this, turn the other cheek, you're gonna get cut. So it's either be the predator or the prey. I learned how to be the predator. I learned how to be the predator there. You feel what I'm saying? When I pulled up, now let's get to that. When I pulled up, I'm not gonna expose nobody or nothing, but when I pulled up, you know what I mean? I pulled up on some low shit. You know what I'm saying? Like as I should have. I pulled up, mess hole. I'm seeing dudes I was in the box with that was screaming it in the box, and I know from another spot, the spot I was in, and you know, there was cracking cuz he's up. They like, I'm like, yo, what's yo, whoa, yo, feel me? I'm like,
I already know.
So look, how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? I got the blue and white flights, you know what I'm saying? At the time, you know, they was still letting in like different shades of blue, but it wasn't blue. You feel what I'm saying? It was like greenish, but it still looked
teal and all that.
Yeah.
Teal.
I had the blue sweatshirt, you know what I'm saying? The blue kufi. Now I'm in the mess hall like this, pull up in the mess hall, like straight out of reception, like straight off quarantine. But mind you, I already knew what was going on in the spot because when I pulled up, I was on Keep Lock. I went straight to 19 Company. You know what I mean? Boom, 19 Company. I go to 19 Company, whatever, for quarantine. They find out that I owe Keep Lock from Southport. So I got into a situation in Southport. I hit the sergeant in the head with a roll of toilet paper. They gave me days Keep Lock for that. Feel me? So boom. So now they you 90 days Keep Lock, but don't worry about it. You only gonna do like 30 days or whatever. So I did my little time on Keep Lock, but they messed up because they didn't take my packages. So I was still getting packages, commissary. I'm eating, I'm getting big, I'm working out, I'm getting my weight up, but I'm still not no big dude or nothing. So anyway, I come out the population, rewind, fast forward to what I said. I'm in the mess hall. I'm seeing certain lokes. I'm throwing it up. They not returning the favor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, all right. So I go to the yard.
Right.
So true story. I go to the yard. So I pull up to the yard. So I'm looking around. I'm like, all right, what's going on out here? I'm looking around. I don't see nobody. So I'm like, all right. So I'm walking around and shit. I never forget this. So I see this guy. You know, forgot his name, from Harlem. I see him. He was in the box. He was a gate banger in the box. He was always talking shit on the gate. I see another one of my mans, Spanish brother. I forget his name. I would say his name, but I forget his name now. But Ish. I see Ish. Now, boom, walking around, right? So I see Ish. Yo, Ish, what up? Yo, Critter, what up? Boom. So I see the other dude. The other dude look at me. He like, Critter? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He like, yo, I ain't even gonna lie. He said, yo, you brave out here right now. So I'm like, why you say that? What's up? He like, yo, it's mad bloods here, you heard? So I'm like, so what? Like, so what? I don't got no beef with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see one of them I got beef with, I'm gonna handle it, but I don't got beef with bloods. Like, I don't care about that. I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? So he like, all right. So I turn my head. I turn back. The dude that was just saying that to me, he holding his face. Like, yo, why you do that to me? So I'm like, yo, what you talking about? So he's like, yo, you cut me. I'm like, yo, bro, what are you talking about? Like, police looking and all that. So I spin off, boom. So now, long story short, everybody is looking at me like I clap son. You feel me?
Early.
So now I'm already hot because they know I'm there. But now, after that happened, they like, hold on. This boy, he ain't playing game. First time in the yard, he clapped. Oh, man, listen, I don't know what happened. He got clapped, though, that quick. So I walk this way, early go back. So I'm going on the line, early go back. everybody is moving from me. Like they moving away from me, like you know what I mean, like on some scary shit.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I don't go back on the early. I go back into the yard. I go back out to the yard. This was I think B block. So I go back this way through the yard, whatever. Boom. Long story short, I get on the phone. So I get on the phone. Just so happened, it's the homie phone. I didn't know. So the dude runs down on me. You know what I'm saying? Big homie, whatever. Yo, who told you to get on that phone? I'm like, yo, hold on for a minute. I'm like, what? I'm like, what you talking about? He like, yo, who told you can get on my phone? So I'm like, yo, I didn't know this was your phone. Like, whose phone is this? Like, yo, this the homie phone. So I'm like, I am. Like, what's up? I'm using the phone. Like, so he like, all right, bro, I bet. So in my mind, I'm like, yo, he just using this as an excuse so to try to get at me, whatever. Feel me?
Right.
So my man comes over there who happened to know son, tells him, yo, listen, that's such and such. That's my people's, boom, boom, boom. So son talked to me. He kind of tried to explain it to me, like how the phones go out there and all that. I didn't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't no issue with none of that. Me and son wound up, we was all right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, it just, you know, I just wasn't jacking that. Like, I don't care about who.
The way he came up. Yeah, the way he came,
I wasn't feeling that. So,
yeah.
So anyway, long story short, you know what I mean? As time goes on, maybe a couple days or something goes on, I'm approached. Yo, you low?
That's it. Here it come.
All
this
day.
Is it.
Yeah, I am. What's up? What's the situation? And anybody that was there could I would never deny that. Yes. What's up? Oh, we just checking in. Like, you know, I respect that. I respect that. A lot of y'all don't say y'all, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I am, bro. Like, I just came from Southport. Like, then you had a couple of them that was there that actually thought I was a box monster. You know what I mean? Because you know you got a lot of box monsters.
Box monster, yeah.
You know, they in the box, they never get out, they catching tickets, throwing shit,
Yeah.
doing all the stuff that, you know, to avoid beef.
Right.
So I actually was one that came out. You know, I argued with people and all that, but I came out. So yeah, what's up? Everything. Nobody gonna sneak you, none of that. All right, whatever, man. Like, yo, y'all do what y'all do. I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bothering nobody. Then a few more homies came who I really fuck with, who I really mess with, that was in the cat with me, that stamped me like, yo, son is
good. Yeah.
Son is official. Don't mess with that nigga. Like, he good, good. Not just more so of the violence, but more so of my mind, bro. Like, I'm not on no little kid shit. Even though I was young, I was 22, 20, but I'm just a real nigga. Like, yo, don't matter what flag you rep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
that's a good dude right there.
Yeah. So as time went on, you know how it go. I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard about it. You know, certain people start feeling like they got heart now. They see me walking around doing what I'm doing, repping what I'm repping.
They're coming out.
Now they want to, hey, yo, Critter, they want to send kites. And so me being the person that I am, I give them a shot. All right, come out. Come out. Now the numbers is getting up a little bit now. You feel me? So now when the numbers get up, now the homies is looking like, hold up. What's going on here? Well, hold up. What's going on here? But now they not asking me, what are you doing? They asking the other ones. The ones that's, you know, the younger ones and shit like that. Yo, what's up? Like, what's going on here? Y'all trying to form up, whatever, boom, boom. So I'm hearing this. So I'm like, yo, I go to them. Yo, what's the problem? What's the situation? Like, yo, we not think about y'all, bro. Like do what y'all do. We do what we do. That's it. Yo, I always let this be known. Like, nan person can't say I always let this be known. Yo, I'm focused on my freedom. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused on going I'm in the law library. But if you make me come outside for some dumb shit,
yeah.
I'm gonna come out and address it. I'm gonna come out and address it right. I'm not gonna play no games. Like, if I gotta leave, I'm leaving. But right now I'm focused on the law library. You know what I'm saying? I'm focused on doing what I got to do to obtain my freedom. I don't got time for this. Oh, he was staring at me in the mess hall, or calling me out to the yard for petty shit. I don't want to talk about that. Like, yo, if anything, you got a problem with the low, shoot five with him. Shoot the fair with him. You know what I'm saying? That shit. Squash it like that. Or whatever. Hammer the hammer. Whatever y'all want to do. Like, but don't call me outside for no little kid shit, man. Like, so eventually, one day I'm in the yard, you know what I'm saying? One day I'm in the cell, and I look out the window. I see the little homeboy getting pressed. But when I say big homie, I mean a big homie. Like, this nigga's big. But me and him is all right. We had a situation before that. We had a little I would say a drawdown situation. You know what I mean? He drew down, I drew down. He said what's popping, I said what's cracking. You know how that go. And we had a little drawdown. What's up? Like, but once again, you know, salute to my man Zoe. My man Zoe from the Bronx. Zoe got in between us. Zoe was like, yo, hold up. Y'all both my peoples. Chill. Like, y'all wilding right now. I'm like, yo, he backed out on me. Like, I backed out on him. Like, what's the situation? Like, I don't usually do that and don't fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know Son don't usually do that and don't fire, because Son is a well-known shooter too. You know what I mean? Right. So he like, nah, leave it alone. So anyway, long story short, I see Son pressing the little homeboy. So I come outside the next day with the little homeboy and all that. So I tell him straight up. I said, listen, what happened? So he like, yo, they asked me was I Crip? And yo, I was scared, but I still told him I was. Like, like, he kept it real. He was like, yo, I was scared, homie. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, it was so many of them, but So, you know, most people might say, yo, I wouldn't have did that. I would have let him be on his own. Nah, like, you got to understand the love and the compassion that I got for my homeboys. Like, it's like, I put a lot, like, I caught new charges for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put a lot on the line for the homeboys. So, like, you know what? I felt like, even though I wasn't an OG at the time or whatever, none of that. Like, I'm not, even today, I'm not proclaiming that, but it's like I always felt like a big cousin to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be the one to come, you know? So I came outside. Long story short, came outside. So I asked Son. I said, yo, listen, you had a situation with Son. He said, yo, listen, keep it real with you, all the way a buck with you. Yo, we fuck with you, Critter. Like, yo, it's no static with you. It's nothing but respect, bro, because you always been straight up with us. Ain't no disrespect. But your homeboy, he denied what he is. Feel me? So I asked him. I said, yo, when they asked you what you was, what did you say? Then he admitted it to me. He was like, yo, I said I wasn't. I said, yo, you got me coming out here for all of this, and you lied to me and told me you said you was, but you was scared. So basically, I'm like, yo, we got to do something, though. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something. You got to shoot 5 with one of the homie, whatever. They like, basically, yo, it ain't none of that. Like, yo, he got to go. Like, that's what they basically saying. So I'm like, yo, you know, that can't happen. Like, I'm not going to let that happen to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave it alone. Yo, just leave it alone. He denied what he repped. I'm a deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna deal with that. He gonna suffer the consequences through me. Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? We doing this diplomatically. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta be no bloodshed in that, right? So boom. All right, yo, all right, cool. Boom, boom. All right, I bet. Boom, boom. That same night, he gets shot. He gets shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I done skipped the whole couple of other incidents, but I
already know.
Yeah, I'd rather do that. You feel me? Because this is in a whole nother block from when the first block I told you I was in. It was a riot. It was about 2 riots over there before that, but I don't even want to talk about that one. This one to me is kind of more important because this is kind of like, you know, some epic. Not going to say epic, but this shit is crazy. So now, so Son get clapped. So here it is. I'm getting word that he got clapped, whatever. So, like I said, I'm in the cell. I'm doing my law work. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm doing what I'm doing, man. You know, I get a kite. I get word. Porter come to my cell, tell me what's going on. Yo, be on point. They getting y'all out of here. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Right. So, come outside. I see Big Damon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you know Big Damon. I see Big Damon and shit. And we talk. He like, yo, little bro, I know how you stand with that. You official, you a stand-up dude, but be careful out here. They you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I heard your name, bro. Like, I heard your name. So I'm like, all right. So I'm looking around and shit. So I'm going to everybody. I'm not gonna sneak you or none of that. I'm going straight to the source. I'm asking all the homies that I know that I'm cool with or not cool with that I know by name. I'm asking them what happened to the boy. What happened to him? Yo, we don't know. When we find out, we're gonna let you know. Da, 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 da. So finally, one dude told me, said, yo, son, such and such. I know the dude that did it. Son pulled up. Son did that shit on some jumping out the window. I guess, you know, he ain't know the protocol, what was going on at the spot. Because it's always been one way until I got there. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, I made it so where they could come and they'll be left alone in that block. Not saying the whole spot, but in that block where they come. And we talking about Afghanistan. Let's get that clear. Afghanistan, A block. They come, they will be under me. You know what I'm saying? And everything will be good. So now, whatever the case may be, son get clapped. So now I see dudes, you know, they digging up. They digging up. No, doing. So I run down immediately. Run down. Yo, what's up? What's going on? Like everybody acting stupid though. Like, nah, it ain't nothing going on. It ain't nothing going on. So I'm not gonna say who, the names, whatever, but they know who they are and they know what I'm saying is the truth. And in no way am I, you know, glorifying it. I'm just telling a story. So I went to the 3 individuals that was in control of what was going on, and I told them, yo, my name is such and such. Told them my set. Told them what I rep. Told them what I stand for. Told them what I'm gonna die for, and I'm willing to die for that right now. Like, let's go. I'm not playing with no sneak attacks. None of that. Let's shake right now. Let's get it crazy right now. In the middle of the yo, I basically, yo, one of them, this is the shit that I always look at this, and son is not no bitch. Son is an official stand-up dude. All 3 of these dudes, official dudes. They know who I'm talking about. If they on this, they know this platform, they watch this, they know who I'm talking about. But one of the guys that he said to me, yo, what did you say your name was? And I said my name. I said Crittermake. And he said, yo, like on some real life shit. Yo, can I shake your hand, bro? I'm like, what? I'm like, I shook his hand. He like, yo, you one of the most official lope niggas I ever met, bro. I never met nobody. You by yourself. He said, you by yourself. You standing on what you believe. Like, he like, yo, that alone right there make me respect you. And this dude is a gangster, bro. Like, this dude is that little punk ass nigga. So
this is somebody that's credible that we might know who it is.
Exactly.
Okay. Got you.
You know, I don't want to put his name out there because I don't
You ain't
know.
got to.
Yeah.
Nope.
But he's from Harlem though. But that's
okay.
I ain't gonna say nothing else. But
that's it, right?
No. Yeah, nah, he official though. I got mad respect for him, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and then from that point, he's like, yo, bro, we're gonna find out what's going on. Da, 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 da. So anyway, long story short, I get online. Now, mind you, I mean, you see my face, right? You know what I'm saying? I never got shot, none of that. You know what I mean? But
salute.
And I've been in shootouts, all that. You feel me? But I feel on point. So I'm standing online, and I feel like somebody trying to creep behind me. So I turn around, I see a dude like, you know how you could tell it's fixed.
Exactly.
Like,
Acting like, yeah, exactly.
yeah. I said,
Yeah.
oh. I said, oh, that's what's going on? I see another nigga coming from this way though. But in front of me, trying to act like he trying to get a cigarette or something. You know how that go. What's next? You need a light? Like, you need a light?
Whoop.
I'm gonna tune you up. As soon as you ask for a light, I'm tuning you up. That's it. You getting tuned. So he walking close. So I'm like, yo. So another dude come. He like, yo, be careful when you walk inside. That's all he told me, you heard? I said, all right. Bet. So we go inside, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we went on the company, I start firing. That's it. Firing. The come to find out, I fired on the missile, chased the other missile down. You know what I'm saying? Chased him down. Fired on the missile. The missile, he tried to fight. He tried to fight back. He hit me with a mop ring and all that. I blocked that. You know what I'm saying? Boom. The knife wound up breaking. You know, a whole bunch of shit. Police chased me down. We fought in the back cell and all that. They set me up with two scalpels. You know what I mean? It was a real messy thing. You know what I'm saying? I wound up going to the coop. I got 12 months for that. They took all my property, took my TV, took everything. Good thing I sent my pictures home before that though. But basically I went to the box for 6 bags. When I left the box, I only had 1 bag, and that was with state shit. You know what I'm saying? So I lost everything. I had at the time, Sean John just came out, and the field boots was cracking. You know what I mean? The all white field boots. I had the blue and gray joints. I had beef and broccoli. They took all my they took all my stuff at that time. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's Attica, man. Then eventually after that, I stayed there for a couple months. Then I wound up leaving. But while I was there though, I got to meet Mark Chapman. He was the porter. Yeah, he was the porter. Okay. I used to make him give me extra trays. I speak about that one of my new rhymes that's about to come out. You know what I'm saying? I talk about that. T was there. T that escaped from Elmira. You know what I'm saying? Bush was in the box. Bush actually helped me. Bush helped me one of my claims and all that. It was a lot of people there. Shout out AZ. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Rock. Certain people, you know what I mean? That was
Rock, right?
Yeah, Charlie Rock. Yeah, Charlie Rock.
Yeah.
It was a lot of people there with me that time in the coop with me when I was there at that time, man. It was definitely rough, man, but I made it through that, man. You know?
Salute. What year did you get out? What year?
Did I get out of prison?
Yeah.
2018, November.
And that was it. To never ever go back again. 2018 was your last time. That was it.
That's my last time, man. I never went back. Ever since then, I've been grinding. I've been doing this music. I've been doing, working.
Hold on, let's get to that. Let's real quick. Let's get into that. Now the music, right? So you was doing the music when you was up north and all that. You was always in the ciphers and all that, rapping and all that. But when you came home, what steps did you take to officialize it? To make the CDs and get into that field. What did you do? How did you get into that?
What I did was, first thing first. Like when I first came home, you know what I mean. I'm gonna keep it real with you. When I first came home, people was playing games with studio time. Like I really didn't have no access to no studios and nothing. So what I did was, at first I didn't have a phone. I had a couple days to get a phone. So I was using my wife's phone. So I used to use her phone and record myself rapping over YouTube beats. You know what I mean? Off YouTube, from the TV. And I used to record that and just listen to it, like practice, let people hear that. Then I figured I said, damn, dudes don't want to let me go to the studio. So I came up with this thing called Bars and Cars, where anybody's car I got in, whether it was a cab or Uber, whatever, hey, yo, could you play this beat? And then I just rap over the beat, and then I put it up on YouTube. And then, that kind of, I wouldn't
Cars
say
and bars, yeah.
I wouldn't say it took off, but I kind of got
no. That's different. That's different right there.
Bars and Cars. So that's like one of my little series that I got on my joint that I haven't done in a minute. But it's like once I started doing that, and then I ran into my man. Shout out to Big Dev, the bad guy. I ran into Big Dev, who's a childhood friend of mine, who plugged me in with Skywalker Dutch. You know what I mean? He's another local artist, but he's not local. He's kind of big. Dutch, who allowed me to come to his studio. He kind of basically molded and crafted me back to where I was 20-something years ago.
Right.
To back to where I could record again. And I recorded my first song. Ever since then, I mean, my first song I recorded was actually Don't Do Me No Favors. And that wound up being on my first EP, which is The State Shot. That's my first EP. But once I recorded that song, I went back and then I did my first mixtape, Real Nigga Epitome. I mean,
okay.
so
I seen you with you was with Large Amounts. Have you ever did anything with the D Block dudes? Any type of material with them dudes?
not yet. Not yet. We all, you know, it's all, I mean, it's all planned, but it's just schedules is different, and you know, people you know, people be busy, man, you know.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely gonna happen one day, you know, one of these days. Feel me?
Definitely. All right. Now, I heard one of your biggest influences was DMX, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, walk us through that. Walk us through meeting DMX.
All right. I'm gonna tell you like this. The first time I met DMX, I was probably maybe, let's say, about maybe 9-10 years old. You know what I mean? It was a snowstorm.
Right.
Snowstorm, and I was at the Hudson River Museum, and we was sledding, and I never forget this. Boomer, which is his pit bull, Boomer came out of nowhere. Boomer came out of nowhere and started chasing me. So I took off. Boomer chasing me. All I heard was X. Boomer, stop. He told him something else. I don't know what he told him. I was a little kid then. All I know was Boomer just stopped and was just staring at me. And I'm like this. Like, oh, I'm shook. Because at the time, like, I'm a little kid, but I was still kind of timid with dogs. So I'm like, oh, please don't let the dog. He like, yo, the dog ain't gonna bite you. You know what I'm saying? Dog ain't gonna bite you, whatever. So from that point on, it's like I started always seeing X. Like as a little kid, 11, 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing him. As I got older, though, of course, we became more familiar. And, you know, I learned that he rapped and stuff like that. And then he used to always come to my block when I used to be down the hill. He used to always come to my block. And basically, that's where I really, really got to know him. And he really got to know me, where he used to give me jewels. Like, he basically taught me about projection, delivery, flow, punchlines. Like, he's the one that taught me how, whereas if you say a line like you might say something like, yo, I went to the store. He taught me that you got to be convincing when you spitting this. Like,
and so, he was too.
Yo, yeah, like he'll say like I might say, yo, I went to the store, like on some bullshit. And yo, I went to the store. Like he taught me that. Like he taught me how to project it.
And you can hear it in his raps too, like that. He means what he says. It's from the heart. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's from the heart.
And that's what it's about. And that's what it's about. So he schooled me on that, because when at that time as a youngster, Nas and Scarface was my favorite rappers. So you know, Nas always been on some, you know, on some smooth, you know what I mean? Plus people used to always say I kind of look like Nas, and I was gassed up. I thought I used to try to rap like Nas and all that. So he's like, nah, man, yo, you from Yonkers, like, yo, you gotta rap like this, like da da da. And so I learned a lot from him. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time with him. You know what I mean? As a shorty, 14, 15, and then as I got older, being in Valhalla with him. You know, like actually, I got a story about that when we was in Valhalla. If you want to hear it, it's pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. Boom. We in Valhalla in 1996.
Okay, early.
X pulled up. So X pulled up. So I was out on the company already. This is the box 3K. So I was on the company. So they like, yo, lock in. So I lock in. Boom. I see X. I'm like, yo, Hab, call me, yo, Hab. So he like, yo, I'm like, yo, what's up? He like, yo, who's that? I'm like, yo, it's Critter. So he like, yo, what up, yo? So I come out. I'm like, yo, I'm coming out. So I come out. I see him. He got like, he a little nicked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, his face, whatever, little bloody, whatever, lip busted. So I see how the Turtles brought him up in there, hemmed up, like they hemmed him up. So I go, plus if you come into the box, especially on the side that I was on, I know it got to be something with the officers. You know what I'm saying? So I asked him what happened. He's like, yo, he got into it with the sergeant. He punched the sergeant in the face. They had a fight. They jumped him, whatever. So I look down. I'm like, yo, X, where your shoes at, huh? So he like shoes? Fuck shoes. I'm like, yo, I'm like, nah, you need your shoes, huh? He like, I don't need no shoes. I'm like, yo, hey, I'm giving you my Uptowns. I just got some brand new Uptowns like 2 days before that. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go up north. I'm about to go up north anyway, so take these. He like, yo, I don't want no shoes. Like, you know what he's like, yo, you know what I want? I'm like, what you want? He said, I want some books. I said, books. And this is a lesson too. Like, this is how I learned too, how to be a better MC. He taught me right then and here. I said, books. I mean, I've always been an avid reader because, like I said, I ran into the dude Knowledge or Powerful. I forgot his name. No, his name is Born. His name is Born. Born always had me reading. So I got wild books. I'm like, no problem. I got you right now. I go to my I come back, give him mad books. You know what I'm saying? And I give him a pen and a paper, whatever. Yo, here. So he like, yo, I'm good. So I'm like, yo, I got some P&J sandwiches and all that, whatever the case may be, down there too. If you want it. He like, nah, I'm bringing it to you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I give him the food and all that. So now you don't hear from him that whole night. You know what I'm saying? I come out the next day. I go to his cell. I'm like, yo, you want to come to rec? He like this, reading his book. He like, nah. He like, nah, I'm reading this book. His book is good, you heard? So I'm like, I bet. So time goes on, a couple days pass, whatever. You know what I mean? I go to his cell. I see him at the desk, bobbing his head, like. So I'm like, yo, what's that? You know what I mean? Because he ain't spit yet. Like usually, when we locked up together, like we spit together and all that, but he didn't even spit nothing yet. So I'm like, yo, what's that? What you writing? That song he was writing at that time was "How's It Going Down." You know what I mean? So he let me hear that. He let me hear how type of games is being played. How's it going down? So I'm like, oh yeah, that's fire right there. So he gives me the book. He gives me the books that he's finished with. He's like, I'm done with these. Now, mind you, it's only 4 days. I gave this man like 10, 15 books. He done knocked out like 9, 10 books already. Books. I'm talking about some novels, some educational. That man was crazy smart, man. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the dog. That man was crazy smart. Yeah. But he taught me, so much. He taught me, man, that he said, yo, Critter, you know what? He said, yo, you a dope rapper and all that. He said, but yo, you know how you become even better? He said, you got to read. You got to read everything. You got to read Newsweek.
Understood, yeah.
The newspaper, the anything you see, a pamphlet, just read it. Read everything. Read. He said, that shit is power. I'm like, yo, I didn't really understand at the time, but as I went up north and started, that's how I became a better rapper. Reading everything, educating myself, watching the news, stuff like that. So, that's what I got from X. I mean, there's plenty more things I got from him, but
you know what? Your production. I want to touch on your production. You might have heard this from somebody else before, but a lot of your production almost sound like the Griselda type heavy drums. It's like almost that sound and all that.
Yeah.
But we ain't gonna sit here and say that. Let's say we this is New York right here. This is the town right here. So we the originators of all of this and all of that. But I hear them type of beats, like that Derringer sound in your music and all that. That's that sound though right there. That's something that the people definitely we need more of that.
Yeah,
a couple of your joints, we need more of that. Yeah.
What I did was, oh, you gonna ask a question?
No, go ahead.
So what I did was, right, when I came home, I would say for the first couple of months, I had this thing in my head because when I was up north, I used to listen to a lot of 3 6 Mafia, Wu-Tang, like a lot of Atlanta, down south, Memphis and Atlanta mostly. Oh, and a lot of Bay Area stuff too.
Okay.
So I'm like, yo, I love Bay Area music because a lot of my family's from down there, stuff like that. My cousin who I talked about, who put me on
from Oakland.
He's from Oakland. So
it's
like I love that type of music. I love 3 6 Mafia beats, but I'm a lyricist. I still got love for Nas, you know, Jay-Z, Kiss, you know what I'm saying? Certain people, Styles, X. It's like maybe I could take all of this and put it in one. So I tried it at first, and people was jacking it, but I felt like they was looking for me to be the savior. Like, you know what? Nah, Critter, yo, we need them bars. Like, even though I was giving them bars, I was still giving them bars, but I was giving them with different flows, and I was, you know, real versatile. Even though I still am, but I said, all right. So what I did was I linked up with, which is no coincidence, but I linked up with an old childhood, I would say, rapping nemesis. You know what I'm saying? Named Gazarati. Gazarati used to be with this group called Double Impact. And I used to be with a rap group back in the days called Young Black Rage. And Double Impact and Young Black Rage had beef. They made a diss song about us. So when I ran down on them, because I was usually the one to run down, when I ran down on them, and I asked him, I said, yo, you made a diss song about me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yo, keep doing what you're doing. It's and I was on this as a kid. This is when I was 14 years old. Yo, keep doing what you're doing. That's real hip hop. Ain't no beef. Like, I'm not mad because you made a diss track. Just get ready for the one I'm about to come at you with.
Right.
Like, so, but I never dissed him. I never dissed him. Now, fast forward years later, he hits me up on the internet. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I've been going 20-something years, like 20. I've been out of here. Yo, it's such and such, such and such. You probably don't remember me. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, I got something for you. Sends me some beats. Those beats right there was the beginning of me and God. Like mostly all the beats you hear is me and Gazarati. Right. But I got other producers like K the Boss. Shout out K the Boss. I got D Blaze the Pyro. He from Warburton too. He from Yonkers. K the Boss from Yonkers. Gazarati from Yonkers. Warburton too. It's a coincidence we all from Warburton. I make some of my beats. You know, when I have the time, I make my beats. I also have other dudes who produce for me too. Like Burns Beats. Burns Beats just did my new single, Railroaded on the Hudson Line.
Real quick, that's one thing I want to touch on before we get up out of here. That's an ill name right there for an album. Railroaded on the Hudson. What's the story behind that title of the album?
All right, cool. All right, Railroaded on the Hudson Line is actually, that's my single right now, but that's going to be the name and title of the soundtrack, which comes along with the documentary and the autobiography.
Which is because we know the Hudson, we talking about the Metro North right now when we talking about the Hudson Line.
Hudson Line, yes.
Okay, so yeah, all right.
When I say railroad on the Hudson Line, basically the definition of that is, I was railroaded by the system. I was railroaded by Westchester County.
Right.
Wrongfully convicted for a crime that I didn't commit, and they knew it. They just didn't want to let me go. I was railroaded on the Hudson Line. I'm from the Hudson Line. Like I'm from Yonkers. You know what I mean? Glenwood. Right. That's my line right there. You know,
Glenwood.
You got the blue line. You got the red, the New Haven line. You know, my line is the Hudson Line. You know,
the Hudson Line.
Out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, but
definitely. Yo, Critter, before we get up out of here, you know I'm gonna ask you before we get up out of here. For any of y'all kids, right? Y'all young people that's watching this, right? And y'all want to get into gangs, y'all want to get into the negativity on the street, Critter, I'm gonna let you take over and all that. What you got to tell them?
Hey, yo, listen. All I gotta do is tell you, yo, listen. Just rewind this interview and go back to what I told you about my first experience in prison. It was hell. It was hell. Especially being Crip. You know what I mean? Or being anything. But at the end of the day, I'm speaking. I can only give it to you from my perspective, from how I came up. You know what I mean? This is not something I advocate. You know, my past lifestyle, whatever, and I don't suggest that you join a gang or affiliate yourself with a gang, because the ends don't justify the means. I mean, there are some positive stories that come out of it. I mean, you know, you could look at myself, you could look at certain individuals who have evolved, who have grown and developed into responsible young men. And we have took them situations and turned positives out of negatives. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like I would say when you join something, or if you're thinking about joining something, do the homework on it first, man. Do the homework on it first. Know what you're getting yourself into, and that's for anything in life. That's for used cars, apartments, anything.
Anything.
Do the knowledge before you get involved in it. So therefore, when something happened, as we spoke about earlier, you don't have to go, because some people, it's not for everybody. Some people might actually join up and then might realize after they first war, after they first cutting, stabbing, whatever, getting stabbed, anything, that, yo, this is not for me. Yo, you got to think about that before you get into it. And I'm telling you firsthand, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you firsthand.
Y'all, anybody watching this, y'all hearing it first. Like, this is it. You know, this is the road that you're going to take. You know what I'm saying? When you choose to get into all of this, you're going to have to bang out. There ain't no getting around that. You're going to have to fight. There ain't no getting around that. It ain't just being with these people and getting the clout off of these people. Nah, you're going to have to ride for that, you know?
No
so
doubt.
Y'all kids, if you know y'all ain't ready, yo, stay in your lane. If you grew up with both parents, like I always say, yo, be appreciative for that. Be grateful for your upbringing, you know? That's it. This is the M.E.T.H lab.
Let me add on to that, twin.
Absolutely.
Listen, and let me set the record straight too. I grew up with two parents. I had a decision. I had a choice.
You had a decision. You had a choice.
I could have stayed with those two parents and been patient and wait for them to provide for me what they wanted to provide for me. All I had to stay out of trouble and stay in school. But nah, I chose to want to go to the streets and live that life, which eventually, even though I was innocent, but which eventually landed me in prison, which while in prison, I got involved with another lifestyle. And then that got me more time on top of more time. I lost girlfriends, family members, money, time, everything. So my thing is the ends don't justify the means, man. So
the ends don't justify the means.
Ends don't justify the means. So just, you know, if you're young right now, you in school, man, stay there, man. Stay there. Don't mess with these streets. Don't mess with these prisons. It's not cool. And no way are we glorifying it. None of that. We're not promoting that. And that's what it is, man. You hearing it from the homeboy Crittermake.
You already know. And y'all got to get the music too. The music is streaming on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. There's music on Amazon. Just put in Crittermake. You know, put Crittermake in Google. All of that's gonna come up. Yo, please listen to the music. Yo, y'all gotta hear this.
Exactly.
Yo, take it from me. Y'all gonna like this. If you like real hip hop, organic hip hop, you gonna love his music. Yo, Critter, salute for coming through. You already know. This is the M.E.T.H Lab, Mathematics, Entertainment, Truth, History. Yo, Crit, I'm gonna hit you up in a minute. You already know. YO to BX.
Mathematics, Entertainment, Truth, History.